The business-class cabin on Flight 782 buzzed with quiet conversations, clinking glasses, and the tapping of laptops. Every seat was filled with executives, lawyers, and influencers who seemed to believe the world revolved around them. In C-12F, however, sat a woman who didn't fit the polished mold of the passengers around her. Her name was Dr. Layla Hassan, a neurologist from a small town. Her modest clothes, plain headscarf, and worn satchel didn't match the designer suits around her. From the moment she boarded, whispers trailed her. A pair of young influencers snickered at her outdated phone. A businessman scoffed, asking loudly why someone like her was in business class. Even the flight attendant's polite smile was tinged with condescension. Layla ignored it all. She opened a medical journal and began taking notes, her pen moving swiftly. She was used to being underestimated. She had been all her life. Halfway through the flight, a commotion broke out in the front row. A tall, impeccably dressed man, one everyone instantly recognized as Sheikh Khalid Al Mansour, a billionaire investor from Dubai, suddenly clutched his chest, his face twisting with pain. He slumped in his seat, gasping for air. "Somebody, call a doctor." His assistant shouted in panic. Dozens of eyes turned around the cabin. Silence. The businessmen shifted uncomfortably. The influencers pulled out their phones. No one moved. Layla stood up from 12F. "I'm a doctor," she said firmly, stepping into the aisle. Laughter broke out. "You, please," one man sneered. "This is a billionaire, not some clinic patient from your village." The assistant, frantic, looked around. "We need a real doctor. Hurry." Layla's eyes flashed with determination. "He's having a stroke. If we don't act now, he could die, or never walk again. I need space. Now." The cabin fell into stunned silence. Part 2: The Miracle in the Sky. Layla's calm authority cut through the panic. She dropped her satchel on the seat, pulling out a stethoscope and a compact emergency kit she always carried. "Help me lay him flat," she ordered. Two reluctant businessmen finally assisted. Layla quickly examined his pupils, checked his pulse, and raised his head slightly to ease breathing. "He's not having a heart attack, it's a stroke," she explained. "We're in the critical window. I need aspirin immediately." A flight attendant rushed to the medical kit. Layla guided Sheikh Khalid through swallowing as she monitored his vitals, speaking softly to him in Arabic. His eyes focused on her, a flicker of recognition and trust in his gaze. For the next hour, she stayed at his side, massaging his hands, encouraging him to move his fingers, ensuring oxygen flow. By the time the plane landed, he was speaking again, weak but alive. Paramedics rushed on board, praising her quick action. "Doctor, you may have just saved his life," one said. The passengers who had mocked her now stared in shame. The influencers lowered their phones. The businessman who sneered earlier mumbled an apology. But the biggest shock came a week later. Sheikh Khalid himself visited Layla's hospital, surrounded by cameras and reporters. "This woman," he declared, "saved not just my life but my future. From this day forward, I am funding her research and building a neurological institute in her name." Gasps echoed in the hall. Layla, once ridiculed for sitting in 12F, stood at the center of global recognition. And those who mocked her would never forget the day the woman in 12F saved a billionaire in the sky.